The man was hit by a car speeding towards him, but he stood still without a scratch. The driver got out of the car, terrified. He told the driver, "You hit a wild boar." The driver's memory was then altered. At that moment, a scream shattered the calm. It turned out there was a woman in the car's trunk, and the woman nearby collapsed to the ground. Because the woman in the car looked exactly like her, someone next to her held up a card and said the woman's name, death, time, and cause of death. He was a messenger from the underworld, specializing in guiding the souls of the deceased. Then he would serve them a bowl of mengpa soup to make them forget their past life and send them off for reincarnation. That was his daily work. Today, he was supposed to take care of 2 souls, but when he arrived at the scene, all he saw was a pool of blood on the ground. It turned out there had been a car accident here, and the driver had fled the scene. A pregnant woman lay in the blood. The desperate woman prayed for the gods to protect her child, but this 1,000-year-old creature hurt her. He was never meant to interfere with human affairs, but this time, he felt soft-hearted. A flash of blue light missed, and he appeared at the scene. With a wave of his hand, blue light flashed, and the woman came back to life. This man's name was Jin Shi. 1,000 years ago, he was an undefeated general. Countless enemies had died at his sword, and he was loved by the people. They called him the god of war. But the young king grew jealous of him, and with the slanders of treacherous officials, the king used the excuse of him colluding with the enemy to kill all his subordinate brothers. To avoid dragging others into it, he chose to let his brothers end his life. With his own sword, he pierced his chest. Even after death, the treacherous officials wouldn't let him go. They threw his body into the wilderness for the beasts to devour, and his body was never allowed to rest in peace. The people protected by Jin Shi came to weep and pray. Their prayers finally moved the heavens, and Jin Shi was revived. But because of the many people he killed in his life, he was punished by the heavens. He was doomed to live forever, watching his loved ones die one by one in pain, and the sword, stained with too much blood, remained forever sealed inside him until he met the ghost bride. Only then could he pull the sword out, and everything would return to normal. The treacherous official who wronged him was eventually strangled to death by his own hands, avenging this blood-filled grudge. For 1,000 years, he had endured the loss of loved ones, and the ghost bride who could see the sword on his body had yet to appear. The woman he saved soon gave birth to a girl, but the woman didn't know. The ghosts outside her window had already gathered.